Tava Gunjabi Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Gunjabi Hari Gunjabi Hari Gopijana Vallabha Girivana Dhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivana Dhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Gunjabi Hari Gopijana Vallabha Girivana Dhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jam Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Paviraj Gacharya Stota Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON founder, BBT founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jam Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Paviraj Gacharya Stota Satashi Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki. Prem Sakho Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Navadvip Marpur Dham Ki. Shri Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki. Ganga Mai Ki. Yamuna Mai Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki. So today, Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for coming. Today we are reading from the 4th canto, chapter 17, Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth, text 20 and 21. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I will read text 20 by myself and then we can read text 21 together. Praharanti na vaishreshu krita gashu api jantava Kimutatvad vidarajan karunadina vatsalam. Thank you. Translation. Even if a woman does commit some sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you, dear king, who are so merciful? You are a protector, and you are affectionate to the poor. Text 21, we can do this together. So first word for word. Mam, Vipadya, Ajaram, Navam, Yatra, Vishvam, Pratishtitam, Atmanam, Cha, Prajaha, Cha, Imaha, Katam, Ambasi, Dasyasi, Mam Vipatyacharam Navam, Yatra Vishvam Pratishtitam, Atmanam Cha Prajaschema, Katam Ambasi Dasyasi, Mam Vipatyacharam Navam, Yatra Vishvam Pratishtitam, Atmanam Cha Prajaschema, Katam Ambasi Dasyasi, Mam Vipatyacharam Navam, Yatra Vishvam Pratishtitam Atmanam cha prajaschema Katam ambasi dasyasi. Does anyone have the verse on them, on their phone maybe? Would you like it on your phone? I can put it on so someone can read. Okay, no one then. Mam, me, vipatya, breaking to pieces. Ajaram, very strong. Navam, boat. Yatra, where. Vishvam, all worldly paraphernalia. Pratishtitam, standing. Atmanam, yourself. Cha, and. Prajaha, your subjects. Cha, also. Imaha, all these. Katam, how. Ambasi, in the water. Dasyasi, you will hold. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The cow-shaped earth continued. My dear king, I am just like a strong boat, and all the paraphernalia of the world is standing upon me. If you break me to pieces, how can you protect yourself and your subjects from drowning? Purport. Beneath the entire planetary system is the Garbha water. Lord Vishnu lies on the Garbha water, and from his abdomen a lotus stem grows, and all the planets within the universe are floating in the air, being supported by this lotus stem. If a planet is destroyed, it must fall into the water of Garbha. The earth therefore warned King Prithu that he could gain nothing by destroying her. Indeed, how would he protect himself and his citizens from drowning in the Garbha water? In other words, outer space may be compared to an ocean of air, and each and every planet is floating on it, just as a boat or islands float on the ocean. Sometimes planets are called dvipa, or islands, and sometimes they are called boats. Thus the cosmic manifestation is partially explained in this reference by the cow-shaped earth. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshun Milita Mena Tasmei Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Garamaya Dadati Svambarantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyuta Paragamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Srijevam Sadvaitam Savudutam Parijana Shitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kantarada Kantanamastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Praye Vanchakalpatrupesha Kripasindhubi Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So just some context of what we have been reading so far. So when King Prithu heard that the citizens were starving, they came to him and said that they were starving. He thought about that, and he knew that it was the earth who was not producing sufficiently. So he picked up his bow and arrow and he aimed his arrows at the earth. And Mother Earth became very afraid, and she took the shape of a cow. And then she started to run away, and he chased her. And then finally she gave up and surrendered to Maharaj Prithu. And she spoke very pitiably and asked him to protect her. She was saying that she's a woman and she's also his subject. So both of these reasons, he cannot kill her. So we see from Shastra that grave punishment is not given to women according to Vedic culture. So we read 2 verses today, so I'll speak a little bit about both of them. So verse 20 again, I'll just read the translation again. Even if a woman does commit some sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you, dear king, who are so merciful? You are a protector, and you are affectionate to the poor. So we see that Mother Earth has brought this up, that even if a woman commits sinful activity, one cannot put a hand upon her. And what to say of the great kings? The kings are the ones that are supposed to protect everyone. There's this verse. Where is it now? From the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12, verse 4. The king represents all living beings, the aquatics, plants, trees, reptiles, birds, animals, and man. Every one of them is a part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And the king, being the representative of the Supreme Lord, is duty-bound to give proper protection to every one of them. So we see that the king is supposed to protect everyone, and also according to Vedic culture, no one should lay a hand on a woman. So also according to Vedic literature, we have the 5 living entities that need protection. It's the brahmanas, the cows, children, women, and older people. And a society that does not give protection to these living entities is a society that is not cultured. But now we see in our present age that in our modern society, these kinds of living entities are actually ignored, tortured, abused. So it represents that we are living in a very degraded society at the moment. So then it comes to the question from this verse that Mother Earth is saying, so why are women not punished for their sins? And we can say that women are generally soft-natured. They don't consciously commit sinful activities. It's not in their nature to commit such sinful activity. And then you even get Srila Prabhupada that even goes as far as saying that women are like children, and children make mistakes inadvertently, but they are placed under the care of the parents, so it is not their fault. So also according to Vedic culture and Vedic society, women are placed under the protection first of the father, the husband, and then the older children. But again, we are seeing that this is not happening in our present-day society. Very few children actually grow up with both their parents. It's very common that children come from broken homes, and most of the time it's the mother that raises them. I'm not saying this is for everyone, but it's happened a lot more than what we see in the past. So that's why we cannot blame women for not acting according to what they should be, according to Vedic culture, because they are not properly protected the way they should be protected. The great acharyas and Krishna, they've given us this information because it's what is supposed to be happening in the world. We are supposed to be under the protection, but that protection is lacking. So how can we blame women in society for not acting the way they're supposed to in Vedic culture and not following what they should be in Vedic culture, because they are not being properly protected. So that is also why, according to Shastra, that women should not be punished for anything, because they are under the protection of someone else. So just like a child, if the child commits a mistake, the parents are blamed, not the child. But obviously this women being protected is not how it should be according to Vedic culture, but luckily for us, Srila Prabhupada has given us the shelter and has given us the protection from his instructions, from teaching us about devotional service, and also coming to the temple and associating with devotees. So we can always actually be under shelter. So we can actually see that the present society is only a reaction from the atrocities caused by this lack of protection from men. Because according to Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot blame women. So Mother Earth is a woman by nature, and she took the shape of a cow. So Maharaj Prithu cannot punish her because those 5 living entities, one being a woman and one being a cow. So Mother Earth was very smart. And also we see that there are 7 mothers. We have one's own mother, the wife of the guru, the wife of the king, the wife of the brahmana, the nurse, and Mother Earth and the cow. But these are very integral relationships, but these relationships are also being exploited. For example, mothers are now sent to old age homes, they're not being looked after. Nurses are being exploited by the hospitals, they're not being paid correctly. And women are being used and exploited and being sold like animals. So, and also the cow, we see it's very common for people to eat meat. So these mothers, our mothers are being exploited and being abused. So that was verse 20, which is quite heavy. And verse 21, I'll read the translation again. The cow-shaped earth continued, "My dear king, I am just like a strong boat, and all the paraphernalia of the world is standing upon me. If you break me to pieces, how can you protect yourself and your subjects from drowning?" So now Mother Earth, she is first trying to plead with Maharaj Prithu as a woman, and now she's pleading to Maharaj Prithu that she is the earth, that she is a strong boat, and she is actually the protector. So from this verse and the purport, we get a little bit of the construction of the universe, which is being described. And from each pore of Mahavishnu, millions of universes are coming up, and from his navel the lotus stem comes out, and all of the whole entire planetary system is resting on this lotus stem. So here we get a bit of a technical side, but Mother Earth is actually coming to Maharaj Prithu as a warning. She is warning Maharaj Prithu that if we abuse Mother Earth, what are we going to do? It's only us that will suffer, because we rely on Mother Earth for our sustenance. And we see this abuse happening every day. People are digging deep into the earth for water. And before there was sufficient water, there was always sufficient water. Now people are going deeper and deeper into the earth just for water. And they actually predict that one day there will be wars just on water, because it's becoming less and less. So Mother Earth has been abused so much, and she is a strong boat. She is giving us protection. And where would we go, or what would we do actually without her? So we need Mother Earth. We need to actually take care of her. And we see that people are so proud of what they are doing to the earth. They are making skyscrapers and buildings and all of these factories, but just a little shake or a little earthquake from Mother Earth and all of this will collapse. So what good is it then? Shishi Radharadhanath ki, Shikiri Govardhan ki, Shi Gora Hariya ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So we have actually taken Mother Earth for granted. She produces so many beautiful things. The flowers that we offer to the Lord, or the incense, all of those smells, all of these natural products, they come from Mother Earth. And she is our shelter. And even when we die, we go back to the earth. So she is our shelter. So Mother Earth in this verse, she is begging the king. And from this we can see other than following Krishna consciousness, there's actually no proper guidance in modern society. We do not have the lawmakers or the rulers anymore that consult Vedic wisdom or give advice on how to live a balanced and proper life. And actually we see in our modern society that sometimes our solutions are making the problems worse. Let's say, for example, the invention of the car. The problem was we needed to get to places quicker. So the car was invented. But just from the car, we get pollution, we get car accidents, we get traffic jams where people get road rage, so many things. Or we create medicines that are supposed to help people, but actually then the medicines have all of these side effects. So our so-called solutions are sometimes making more problems or extra problems. So we've seen that as long as there's been civilization on this earth, we have actually been, human beings have been abusing the earth. We think that we are lords of everything that we see. And we keep taking from Mother Earth without restriction, just for our own sense gratification, without actually considering what will be the repercussions in the future. We're just taking and taking, not thinking, okay, what will it be like in 20, 50, 100 years? So we've actually even seen whole species have been killed. Rivers have been ruined. Forests have been polluted or cut down. And it's only a matter of time before we completely destroy our whole habitat. And then what? Then we're going to be begging Mother Earth as well, like she is begging Maharaj Prithu for protection. And we even see in the Sri Ishopanishad that it describes man's proper relationship with the earth, how everything animate or inanimate that is within this universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. And one should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota. And one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. So if this philosophy is properly applied to individuals and to governments, then maybe we could actually have a bit more of a peaceful world, because we are all trying to claim proprietorship over the earth and the land, so many atrocities are happening. But actually, Krishna, the Lord, he owns everything. So actually we are all being liable to punishment by the laws of nature, because we keep on taking. So, and also Mother Earth, she is also one of Krishna's energies. She supplies all creatures according to their body and their needs. But actually human beings, us as a species, we have a responsibility towards the earth. So a Krishna-conscious devotee, he should be concerned for all living entities, and he should naturally advocate a proper relationship with the earth. So as devotees, we should also ourselves be an example and teach others how we can have a more harmonious relationship with Mother Earth. And although we are striving to be transcendentalists and above the material nature, and we aspire to go to a spiritual planet, we still need to also care about the earth, because it is the earth here that has given us the facility to develop our God consciousness. And unless we live here peacefully, we will not be able to pursue a spiritual life. So to actually prosecute God consciousness here on earth, we need to attain an ecological balance. And as devotees, we actually advocate and recommend living simply. So by living simply, we don't take more from the earth than what we need. We eat simply, we use minimal electricity, and just lowering our needs. Well, not our needs, but things that we use for our own sense gratification. Because why should we take more than what we need from the earth? So we can live simply, but also as devotees, we have something even better. We have the congregational chanting of the holy name. We have kirtan, which is the prescribed yagya for this age. And by that way, the earth can also be saved. As Srila Prabhupada has written in Srimad Bhagavatam purports, ultimately we have to depend on the production of the field and not on the production of the big factory. The field production is due to sufficient rain. Sankirtan Yagya must therefore be performed to save at least from scarcity of food supply. So we are also lucky that we have been put in this position where we can chant the holy names of the Lord, and we can be part of the Sankirtan Yagya, because that is also the best way to save the earth. because from yagya we get rain and we get food supply, and then we can also be sufficiently fed and sustained from the earth. So chanting the holy names of the Lord is the best method of serving Krishna and pleasing ourselves and everyone else. And because food comes by yagya, so by chanting Hare Krishna, everyone will get food. We must still plow the earth. The earth is plowed for our, so that we can get vegetables and food grains. But if there's no Krishna consciousness, there will be scarcity. So that's also why it's good for us to go and spread this knowledge and spread Krishna consciousness, because from this yagya there will be no scarcity anywhere. So by the public chanting of Hare Krishna, which is the Sankirtan Yagya, devotees are trying to protect the population from hunger and other difficulties. But not only that, not only just the chanting of the holy names, but the Sankirtan Yagya also means distribution of knowledge. So not only just distributing the holy name, but also distributing this knowledge. By this yagya, devotees are performing the most important welfare activity. So sometimes people think that, Hare Krishna devotees, why aren't we doing more for the environment? And it is good, we should do more for the environment. But the most important way is by spreading the Krishna consciousness movement. Because by spreading this Krishna conscious movement, we are cleaning the external and the internal, because it first starts within. If we clean our own consciousness and our own heart, then naturally the external will start to also reflect that, because the outside is sometimes a reflection of what is inside. So pleasing God is the most important thing, it's the most important welfare activity. And if everyone did it, there would be so many problems that would be solved in the world. And yes, it would solve a lot of problems, but even if certain external problems aren't solved, it would also just help the way that we respond to certain problems. We'll have a better means of responding and reacting. So people are taking unnecessarily from the earth, and we are upsetting the natural balance. So we should learn from Krishna what our quota is. And we shouldn't take more than what we actually need. And although the situation on earth it's already critical, it's never actually too late, because Krishna will always provide, and Mother Earth will always provide. So it's not too late, provided that we actually turn to a sane and spiritual relationship with the earth and other human beings. So this current mismanagement of Earth's resources will actually only end in ruin. So that's why it's the most important to actually perform the Sankirtan Yagya. And not only that, just share it with the world. So first start, of course, with ourselves. Take it seriously ourselves. Take our chanting seriously, and take the spiritual practice seriously. Serve the devotees. And from there, we will gain that purity that will allow us to also give it to others. And when we give it to others, they will also share it with others. And in turn, that's how we can actually help Mother Earth, by spreading Krishna consciousness and pleasing God, and that is the highest welfare activity. So I'm going to stop there. If anyone would like to add anything or ask anything or share wisdom. Swara Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I didn't really have anything to say, but something just came to my mind right now. Is that once in a question and answer session, at Rath Yatra many years ago. His Holiness Jadvaita Swami was asked a question, what is our opinion, or what is our take, meaning the devotees' take on environmental awareness? And right next door to that question and answer booth was a Rath Yatra exhibition on the environment, ecology, self-sustainability. And so the question was asked to Maharaj, and Jadvaita Maharaj then responded. Now this response is in no way to undo what you have said. He said, we don't give a damn about the environment. Then he qualified, well, what we're really interested in is not in this environment, but in that environment. And that's the environment, meaning the spiritual world, that's where we want to go. And then he went on to explain that for most environmentalists, it's really not about the environment, it's about themselves. That they are seeing the environment in a way to make it nice and clean and pure so that they can enjoy it, even if it's in the mode of goodness. Whereas a devotee wants to take care of the environment to engage it in Krishna's service and thereby realize the original environment. So there's a stark difference between the devotees who are chanting Hare Krishna, trying to live simply and not abuse the planet. Big difference to those environmentalists who are very, very strong and aggressive about protecting the environment. But it's really to make a nice, comfortable lives for themselves. Clean air, clean water, nice flowers, so that they can feel gratified with the eyes, the nose, the tongue, and so on. So I appreciated where Maharaj was coming from. If we see that this is a perverted reflection of the original environment, and we're meant to utilize this environment to get to the spiritual world, not for our pleasure, but for Krishna's pleasure, then it is actually complete. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's like how we also just see it. If you, like you said, trying to protect and save the earth for our own, so it's beautiful and peaceful for ourselves, or keeping it clean and nice and protected because it's Krishna's energy. And so it's just our consciousness and our intention that really makes the difference. Jai Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think you touched briefly on that point of quota. Ishopanishad mentions that Isha Vasham Idam Sarvam, that everything belongs to Isha, the controller, the supreme. And if people acknowledge that and take what belongs to them and not encroach on others or exploit others, so this is the root cause of all the suffering in the world, or so-called food shortage. Actually, there's no shortage. Everything belongs to God, and why is the shortage? It's just that man has taken the position of and control, like these big corporate companies, and they kind of control the prices of commodities, like simple, like very everyday, like bread, even you're paying so much for bread, sugar, butter, all these things are very amply available. Why is, why is there so much shortage? Actually, there's no shortage. It's just that it's been created by these who, and so much for the environment. Like you mentioned, all the examples of Mother Earth being exploited. You're talking about water. Water will be a very rare commodity. In maybe 100 years' time, there'll be wars just for water. And we take it for granted, and so much of wastage there. We look, the environment around us. Even here, every day there's some water leaking out from somewhere, and tons of water is being wasted. So this is I was watching the news the other day, and there was, this Israeli-Gaza war, and he said it'll take like 14 years for them to clear all the debris.
Wow.
from that devastation of the bombing of that 14 years.
That's a long time.
So much of destruction on the earth. Of course, during the world wars and there's still bombs out there in the ocean that's not still pose a threat to the environment, once one comes in contact with that. And we have so many children being maimed and lose their limbs, just innocently playing on these fields. Yeah, so there's so much of destructions there caused by man, just over greed and just to exploit one another. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Thank you, Jai Prabhu. Yeah, and I also see these verses from Mother Earth. Also, it's a way to teach us compassion. If we can't actually be even compassionate to the earth that sustains us, then how can we be compassionate to anything? So, it's good lessons from Mother Earth. Anyone else? Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.